formality type stuff. I'm Bill Sherman. I'm a real estate appraiser out of Frisco. I've been in the business about 30 years now. And I've been doing arbitrations about, well, I guess I missed the first year that they came into existence. About 4 years now I've been doing them. And I was telling Rick here a while ago that most of the stuff that I've been doing is in East Texas. A lot of rural stuff over that way, and a couple of things in Collin County, Parker County.
You rule on the other side now.
Rural on the other side. Yeah, I haven't. Well, I used to live in Sulphur Springs,
Okay.
and that's how I kind of got going over there and listed and doing stuff that way. Done a lot of appraisal stuff over in East Texas and Northeast Texas. But I'm a pretty informal guy, even though this is a formal meeting. I don't get real technical and stuff. Maybe I should.
There's your copy.
But we'll just try to be civilized. If you have any drastic questions, if you'll address them to me, that'd be appreciated, and we can get them resolved. And, we've got 2 hours, but the way that's set up, each of you can present an hour, or you can just present your case, and we'll go from there, just whatever time lapse it is. But this is a residential homestead, I assume.
Yes.
And so we'll go from there. We'll let you start, Mr. Off, and then we'll get Mr. Armstrong to finish up. And I may have a few questions as we go along,
Okay.
but I'll try not to interrupt you too much to get all your information. So,
I certainly won't need an hour. Basically, I see there's 3 things at play. Number 1 is what I pay for the house, and that favors me. Number 2 is what the square footage is of the comps in the area, and that favors Parker County. And probably not to the extent they're trying to base it at, but it does favor Parker County. And then the third thing is who can tell a coherent story. And I honestly believe that there are questions that Parker County, that are essential to their valuation, they do not have an answer for. Basically, depending on what date you look at, either January 28th of 2010 or February 2nd of 2010, I bought this house for $212,000. Basically, I was told by my realtor friends, you bring this in to the review board, and they appraise it at that. Well, it hasn't worked out like that. It was a foreclosure. It had been on the market for roughly 6 months. It started at $289, that was their pie in the sky price, and they dropped it. I think approximately every 45 days they dropped it. It wound up being listed. I did not have an interest, and my girlfriend, now wife, didn't have an interest until it dropped to $219, and then we started talking, and we managed to get it for $212. That sums it up in a nutshell.
did you deal directly with FEMA or with a local realtor?
There was a local realtor,
Okay.
but it was a Fannie Mae, I believe.
Yeah, Fannie Mae. So.
Or HomePad, is that the same thing? Anyway, it was a foreclosure. Basically, I think the market value of the house is what it'll sell for. We're trying to get the valuation on January 1st, 2011 today. That's what this whole thing's about. I would argue the valuation on January 28th or February 2nd of 2010, less than a year earlier, was $212,000. It wasn't like I bought it at auction. It wasn't a closed market. It wasn't any of that stuff. It was an MLS listing. Anyone comes around with $213,000, they would have bought this house. Is it less per square footage than the others in the neighborhood? Yeah, it is. I think there's reasons for that. They don't really look at that. They love the square footage, and everything's about square footage. And that I can't sit here and go, you know, this stuff's not true, it is. If you compare my house per square foot and the comps per square foot, it's not the same. But there's reasons why this home sold for $212, and the other homes, you know, which comes to high 60s per square foot, high 67, 68, and these are going for 90 or 100, or I think I see one for 111. So that's it. Basically, I also like to, so the request for binding arbitration, I have right here. It says, one of the reasons you can appeal is the property could not sell for the amount shown on the appraisal roll. Well, we know this one can't sell for $320,000 and change, because no one was willing to pay $100,000 less than that. So, that, I believe, is the extent of my argument. I'll let Mr. Armstrong speak.
Did you have to do any work on the house? I mean, major,
No,
I mean,
the pool needed.
was it pretty well walk-in though? I mean,
No, there was a
I mean,
pool that
those
needed.
are the things that said as is, so I was questioning whether it was,
I think that's just standard terminology
yeah,
and all
well,
that
I
kind of
wanted to
stuff.
make sure that.
But I mean, the pool needed, I don't know, $1,500, $2,000 worth of work. But my understanding is for a home that hasn't been lived in, as long as that hadn't been lived in, it was in good condition. And the pool's been kind of a money pit. Anyway. And I did bring a copy of House Bill 103. Actually, this is the actual bill. This is the synopsis by the state. But basically, it says, you know, you have to keep foreclosures into account when evaluating property in a neighborhood. And I think that the whole point of this bill was to prevent things like the valuation of my house right now.
Anything else?
That's about it. I'll let him do his talking, and then,
We'll see if we can answer some questions.
okay.
Mr. Armstrong, what do you got?
Okay, going through the packet here, I'll just kind of go over it with you. Obviously, page 1 is a schematic of the subdivision with the subject being up top. And these are the sales that I have in the subdivision, and I believe they're all in the 2010 tax year, because the date of appraisal is January 1, 2011. And in mass appraisal, you're valuing a universal properties as a given date, and the date's January 1 of 2011. So all these sales have occurred within the 2010 tax year. Okay, so that's the map listed, Mr. Linlof's, along with the other 7 comparables. And the next page will show Mr. Linlof's property. The market value of $321.20 with that's a $91.75 a square foot, and he's got a pool. The next page shows a picture of the pool that he's got in the back. He gets a pool and a hot tub. Then the next one is comp number 1. It sold 4 of 2010 for $399,000 or $116.91. That's number 1. Comp number 2 is sold in 5 of 2010. It's got $35.52, and it sold for 179 cents per square foot. Sale number 3 is 45.25 square foot, and it sold 9 of 2010 for $82.87 a foot. Sale number 4.
Can I jump in just a second here?
Sure, go ahead.
There is this picture number 3,
Right.
you're missing a big part of the house. It's got a little cabana off to the side. You can see it in the map here, but it's 600 square feet. It's